This is the Backfire Zealot S2 and it's possibly the coolest electric skateboard I've ridden so far. With its purple LED light strip, an amazing remote with colour OLED display, but it's not just cool, it's actually very good. With the Zealot S2, Backfire have created something very special indeed.
Now, I've had this for a while, I've been trying to make a video, but it's been raining constantly, which is really annoying, and this is the best I could do. So basically, tonight, it's not tipping it down, but the floor is still damp, and I don't really recommend going on electric skateboards on a damp floor. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ride around the estate, not particularly fast. I have managed to get a few fast rides in. And we're going to have a look at Christmas lights. But why is it so appropriate to have this board, the S2, whilst looking at Christmas lights? Because it pretty much is a Christmas light. Now watch this. We're going along, it looks like a normal, fairly boring board, but one little double click of, not that one, and oh my god, how cool is that? That LED purple strip that goes around it is absolutely fantastic. I really love it. Look at that, look how cool that is. Bloody hell. It's so impressive.
Also impressive is the packaging. The board was very well packed in a box, and along with the board you also get spare pulley covers, a 3.5 amp charger that charges the board in about 2.5 hours, a skate tool, extra pulleys, extra belts, USB-C chargers for the remotes, a spare charger connector thing, a tube of screws, Allen keys, the fantastic remote with 1.5 inch OLED display, and here's some ASMR for you. And finally some stickers.
It's got two 875 watt motors, which are not hub drive, they're belt drive motors, so they're kind of outboard motors connected to belts which connect to pulleys on the wheels and drive the wheels. What's so good about belt drive motors? Well, it means it's got to have a lot more torque than your equivalent hub drive board, and this does have a lot of torque. I'm only in eco mode at the moment, I'm not pushing it because it's so wet. Now the thing about skating at night is you can't see as far, and you don't know if you're going to get hit a pothole. So one thing I'll say about this light on here, it's not a light for you, in that it doesn't. Well, in that situation then, the guy was turning left and I knew he would be able to see me, and that's what it's for. So it is for us in that sense, in that it helps keep us alive, but it's not for us in that it doesn't illuminate the path ahead. Maybe it would if it was pitch black, but not in this where there's street lights. Ooh, I'm gonna go over a manhole cover. Now, how does this board feel? Because obviously I'm using street wheels. Now normally, skateboard street wheels are 90 millimeters. The ones that Backfire uses are a little bit bigger. I think they're 96 millimeters, but they are a little bit harder, which is odd actually, because this deck doesn't flex as much as many other decks. Now if you compare it to say something like the X-Wave Flex or the Flex Pro, which is a flexier deck, this doesn't flex that much. So if you can see that, it's not really, there is a little bit of flex, it's not totally solid, which means generally, right, I'm going to go up a speed. Look at that remote, look at that, that was amazing. You press that, you can go from eco to sport, press that one there, you can go to turbo mode, which I'm not going to use in this, but I have, and it's bloody fast. So, eco, let's go into sport. So it was a bit slow in eco, but it was a decent speed. In fact, let me tell you how fast it was. So in eco mode, we are in kilometers per hour. I haven't managed to find a way to change that yet. Might have to unpair and repair the remote, sometimes that works. So that's taking us 20 kilometers per hour, which is a decent cruising speed. You can see yourself if you had to get to college or something, you didn't want to go too fast, you just wanted to enjoy the day. That's a nice little speed. So I'll press that button there. Whoa. It's already pretty fast.
Those dual 870 watt motors are powered by a 58.8 volt 8 amp hour battery, which I would say gives a capacity of about 470 watt hours, but they have quoted 403 watt hours on the website. That should be good for a range of about 25 to 30 miles for an 80 kilogram rider. Myself being over 100 kilograms, I've got about 15 miles on it. The electronic speed controller is Backfire's own speed controller, which is very smooth. However, you can alter the settings.
If I press this button here, you can see there's lots of options. There's remote power, board power, motor NESC, eco settings, sports settings, turbo settings. So if you want turbo to accelerate a little bit faster, you can. I'll tell you what, this board does like to coast. Usually, belt drive boards don't really like coasting, and they slow down quite quick once you let off, but this one it kind of carries on. Oh, I love that belt wind. Listen to that belt wind again. It's wet and I'm on street wheels, so I'm not going to push it, but I love that.
Don't forget that as well as the increased torque compared to hook drive motors, belt drive motors give you the option of easily changing the wheels to any wheel you like. I do like the Backfire wheels supplied, but because the board isn't too flexy, if you wanted some softer wheels to get a bit more shock absorption or some cloud wheel style wheels, you could easily swap them out.
I would like as much as possible to keep the street wheels on because I like street wheels. Now those lights, there's different options. So at the moment it's just fully on. If I want, I can, with a double tap of that button, it can now kind of breathe. It's like a breathing mode, which is all right. And then another double tap. Flashing mode, again, helps you stay visible. How am I staying visible at the moment? Apart from my helmet with the torch, I've got a yellow high vis thing on. Now on this rough road, this is a rough road. I've been on here on various electric skateboards. I can still feel that this road is shit. And it's always rough. Unless you've got your pneumatics, this is going to be rough. On cloud wheels as well, it's going to be rough. Oh, hello. Sadly, we haven't had the weather to take it up Sandy Lane, so it'd be interesting to see if it can beat this Flex Pro, which is the current king of Sandy Lane. So I'm going to try and turn around. Let's see. I've got the trucks medium loose. Don't think I'm going to be able to make this turn. Maybe if I go up the curb. Oh no, leaves.
The trucks do feel nice, and although I wasn't carving much in the video due to the wet roads, they are quite carvy. They're 8-inch 50-degree reverse kingpin gravity casted trucks, unlike the more expensive Zealot X, which has forged trucks. This means that the Zealot X trucks are actually stronger than the ones on this Zealot S2. I have seen a few Reddit posts where the trucks on the S2 have actually snapped. Now obviously if you go on Reddit, you are going to find someone who's had an issue with any board, no matter what it is, so really it's more about the customer service, and Backfire have been good enough to send out the forged Zealot X trucks as replacements. So if you are a heavier rider, or if you really skate hard, that might be something to consider.
Believe it or not, this is the best weather I've had for ages. But Backfire sent this a while ago, and it's not exactly a brand new board. It's been out for a while. By the way, it's $750 at the moment. You can use the link below to get that. If you like the look of it, it is the coolest board I've got, that's for sure.
If you're not that bothered about the amazing Halo remote with OLED screen, then you can actually get this board for $100 less. For $649, you can get the S2E, which is the exact same board but comes with a slower charger and a standard remote. Decisions. This puts it closer in price to Wowgo's S2 rival, the Pioneer X4. That board retails for $549 but doesn't have any of the cool glowing, is lower spec, but also comes with a $200 delivery fee if you're from the UK. The aforementioned X-Way Flex Pro retails for $949, which is quite a bit more than the S2, even in full spec mode. It's a great board, but it doesn't have the cool lights or the OLED remote.
I get some speed up. Oh. 30 miles an hour is the top speed of this. I don't disagree. Oi, a bit of a wobble there. Oh, I've got cold hands. Right, I'm going to take it in now. But that wasn't my first ride. I've ridden it a few times now. What do I think about it? Now, I love various things about it. I absolutely love the remote. The remote is the best remote you can get, that I've seen anyway, for electric skateboard out. I love the lights. You can get the Zealot X, which is actually the range topper, that has blue lights. Personally, I prefer the purple. And then you can also get the Zealot 5 or V. That looks a nice board. That's a new one. But yeah, it feels pretty good. The wheels are a bit harder than what you usually get. I would have liked them to be a bit softer because the board, like I say, doesn't flex that much. So it's not quite as comfortable, but it does feel really stable. Hello, car. Yeah, the wheels are 88 durometer, 55mm contact patch, which is a good contact patch, which means loads of grip when it's dry, not like this though when it's damp.
The deck, made of ABS, plastic, fiberglass and maple, has a slight concave, not too much so it hurts your feet, but enough so you feel locked in and you can tell where on the board you're standing. One
thing I wouldn't mind changing is this LED strip is so nice, but it doesn't have bash guards, possibly because they thought they couldn't protect the strip. However, you can get clear bash guards, so there are other boards out there. The Meepo Aurora that has the green strip going around it, and it's got clear bash guards, so you can see the strip through the bash guards.
With the stiffness of the board, it would have also been nice to have some padded grip tape. However, I'm never really sure how much of a difference that actually makes.
But anyway, this was the fantastic, so far, Zealot S2, and it is going to be coming back because I want to do a proper test, take it up Sandy Lane. But until then, I'm really liking it and I am impressed. So if you enjoyed that, thanks for watching. Skate safe.